What is going on, everybody? Who doesn't love a good plate of tacos? Well, let's go ahead and get right into it. First things first is I gotta crack open a cold one.
Step
A
one,
Dos Equis,
crack
matter of
open the
fact.
beer.
Damn, they were going down good.
Yep.
Drank me a couple while I was cooking. Good to go. That's the first step. If you don't drink, skip this step. Alright, first thing is I'm gonna dice up some onions. This is a really simple recipe. Super simple. You can see what I'm doing there. I just, on the way home, I was thinking, what can we eat? So I just figured, man, I'll just go ahead and make some tacos real simple. As you can see, what I'm doing is diced up some onion, making some cilantro now. Or chopping it up, not making it. Excuse me. Not a lot to this recipe. Few ingredients. There it is, the chopped onions and the cilantro. And this is a skirt steak. I'm trimming the fat off of it. Although I do leave some fat on there, I trim most of it off. So that one is a meat tenderizer. I got that from the local food supply store here, or commercial food supply store. But I know they sell those at HEB, at the little appliance section where they sell the pots and pans and stuff. It's a meat tenderizer. It's got a bunch of blades in it, and what you do is you just smash it down in it. It tenderizes the meat. It breaks up the proteins. Whenever you put meat on a pan and you see it kind of shrink up, is what happens. The proteins are they're squeezing together, I guess you could say. And this keeps it from doing that. So it keeps the meat real tender, and you'll see later how tender this meat is. I'm gonna do this inside. I don't want to fire up the grill or anything, so I'm just doing this inside. So this is an easy recipe anybody can do. Throw some fajita seasoning on the meat, and throw some Worcestershire. You could throw some liquid smoke. Oh man, I just had to keep drinking. It was so good. So get my pan. It's a cast iron. Man, I just couldn't stop last night with that beer. That was good. Not a big drinker, but chingal, these Dos Equis were hitting the spot. Can't stop, won't stop. So there, I'm prepping another one for me. But anyhow, put some oil in the pan and let it heat up. Not too much. I'm not frying these. I just want a little bit of oil.
Damn, that's good.
Let it get hot. Shake the pan around. You see how it spreads. Oh, what up, Tank? That's
What up,
my
Tank?
dog right there. Fist bump.
No.
Fist bump.
Fist bump, come on.
Good
Fist
dog.
bump, buddy. Oh, good boy.
Like I said, I'm going back to that pan, Black Betty, that cast iron. You can do this on a regular pan. You can do this on a griddle. Cast iron is my favorite. I can cook on cast iron when I can. I try to use it for everything. My favorite pan in the world, so it lasts a lifetime. So if you don't have one, it's a really good investment. I do have a couple other small pans, but Black Betty right there is, man, that's my favorite. So now what I'm doing is I'm gonna just put the fajitas in there, the skirt steak, and I put the big chunk down first. You hear that sizzle? That's exactly what you want. I put the big chunk down first. Just give it a little bit of time. Put the smaller pieces because those cook a lot faster. Swirl the oil around a little bit, kind of just coat it. A really simple recipe. Like I said, who doesn't love tacos? You ever hear somebody say they don't love tacos? Slap them in the face. Or don't trust them. Either way, everybody loves tacos. So just let that meat sit. I let it sit for about 5 minutes on one side. Flip it over. Maybe about 4 or 5 minutes on the other. Maybe about 4 minutes. Not too long. God damn, you know that beer was good. But, you see that little crisp? You want that crisp on there. You don't want to be flipping and turning. I was messing with it quite a bit. But normally you just throw them in the pan, leave them on there for 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Obviously, the more done you want them, then obviously for longer. Adding more fajita seasoning. You can't over season these. Well, you can, but I just like to put a lot of seasoning. That's just my thing. So now I'm taking them out. Now I'm putting them on another foil. You see that little blood right there? I'm just checking to see the doneness. I'm looking at the juice. They were pretty much ready there. Maybe a medium right there, just by the feel of it. So what I did was I take them out, and then they're still going to continue to cook. It's called carryover cooking. They're still hot, so they're going to cook a little bit more. They'll maybe rise another few degrees. And I just put them in that foil. That's a new foil, by the way. That's not the same one I was using with the raw meat. Right, and I just fry up the tortillas here. I fry them up pretty good. I put them in my tortilla warmer, and they'll soften up, but they'll be just cooked enough that they won't tear on you. You get a little hard when you fry them, and then you steam them, and they soften back up, but they don't tear that way. Oop, man, I hate a taco that tears. That's the worst thing that can happen. It's a blowout. So there you can see how done they are. And as I put them in the warmer, they soften up. So they're a little fried here, a little crispy, and they'll soften up through the, as I'm doing everything else. Right, this recipe made about 10 hefty, thick tacos. I loaded up the meat on these, real good. It probably could have made about 15 or 20 of them had I not been so stingy with the meat, but yeah, I just wanted some fat tacos. They don't call me manteca for nothing. So right here I'm showing you the grain. You cut across the grain when you cut fajitas. The grain is going one way, you see that? Now you turn it and you cut it sideways. What it does is you got a tender cut. When you chew on it, you're not eating strands, you're cutting across it. And you'll see how easy it tears here in just a second. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that.
I didn't marinate these. I didn't add all this special stuff to it. The meat tenderizer. Boom, look at that. Boom, manteca.
Right.
It's a really simple recipe. I went straight to the store, came home and started working on it. So these didn't have to sit in there for hours to marinate, to soften up. You just,
Manteca.
that's how to cook. The grain is going that way. What I do is cut it in half, flip it,
Right.
and cut on a bias is what it's called, at an angle across the grain. The makes the meat more tender because it separates and you can just pull it apart easier. So I'm just putting the tacos together at this point. Really simple. I add onion, cilantro, some lime, some avocado, and I had made a little salsita that we added to it. And we did have some mozzarella cheese, so I added some on top, just to give a little extra. But as you can see, I did load these tacos up with a good amount of meat. So this, like I said, this made about 10 tacos for one of a skirt.
Cilantro and onion?
But like I said, you could have made maybe 15, 20 out of that. I ain't stingy with the meat. Gotta be good. So add that cilantro, give it that old Mexican street taco flair. So there you go right there, man. Man, these were good. Goddamn, these were good. Had it with the good Dos Equis right there. So hey, let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Try this recipe out. Let me know what y'all think. Catch you on the next one.